Brought to you by stationhousecoffee.com and inspireddisorder.com/Kindle.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Rona Dayz, the 33rd episode of the show that's probably going to be going for a long time now that the weather is starting to get cold. People are getting shut back inside due to the weather. And, of course, with holidays, people love to get together and, given any reason to just ignore the fact that there's a pandemic, I'm sure there'll be more spreading of the pandemic. I mean, not to mention that it's also flu season. So it is what it is. This will just be a regular show. We'll see. We'll see if I'm still doing Rona Dayz in 2022. We'll see how long this coronavirus pandemic lasts. This week, I mean, it's been more of the same this week. Of course, this was recorded Sunday, a few days before the election. So hopefully this episode is coming out and Trump has lost like by a huge margin. It was a landslide victory, hopefully, for Biden-Harris, considering what's currently happened just a couple days ago, where a bunch of MAGA-tards trying to, in their lifted pickup trucks, it's weird how, like, cookie cutter these like racist people are in their lifted pickup trucks, flying a minimum of 3 flags in the back of them, usually some kind of Trump flag, maybe an American flag with a blue stripe. You don't see a lot of Confederate flags. I think they've switched to the American flag with the blue stripe, but you still see that. Maybe Don't Tread on Me flag. But they always have about 2 or 3 flags flying from their lifted pickup truck, and they were trying to run a bus, a campaign bus for Biden-Harris off the road. Just kind of pathetic. Hopefully all of them get incarcerated, get charged with crimes, attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, whatever it may be. But really pathetic humans that have no creativity or originality or really uniqueness to them whatsoever. But hopefully there is no civil war. Hopefully this episode isn't coming out during the second civil war of this country, which it might be. You never know. I would imagine if Trump loses, that the snowflakes, his really pathetic, fragile, weak-minded, weak-souled supporters will be out in arms with their AR-15s, probably shooting people. I would not be surprised if they just are so demoralized that they would just be out shedding tears and shedding bullets. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully they stay home and just shoot themselves. Maybe end the bloodline of ignorant hate. But either way, I've been having crazy dreams, which haven't had anything to do with that. It's been kind of nice because I've over the past month or so, I've been having a bunch of dreams and remembering a lot of them, and I've gotten really good at flying in my dreams, which is nice because it's an ability that I don't have, which some of you may not know. I don't have the ability to fly on my own like Superman or the boy who could fly or any of the things where people can fly. But in my dreams I can, and it is amazing. But they have been weird dreams where it's like, it's almost like I'm an employee or a student, and I have deadlines and like things that I have to do for other people, which is ridiculous because I don't. In real life, I do not. I only work for myself in real life, and it's been weird, these dreams that I've had. But it is what it is. It's kind of been a nice kind of a mental vacation when I go to sleep. And it's like I haven't been sleeping good. I've been, I wake up constantly because I'm dealing with like at night I get the whole congestion. My voice, for some reason, I'm losing today. I've been feeling fine for most of the week. It's just at night. At night, I'll start to get a little stuffy, and usually, like I'll wake up maybe around 4 in the morning, and then I'll go back to sleep, and then in the time where I go back to sleep at 4 in the morning to when I wake up, either at like 6 a.m. or 8 a.m., I'll get all kinds of congested, and I spend most of my morning kind of just everything just kind of breaking up and clearing out. But yeah, kind of tired of this cold that I've had. But for the most part, feeling fine. Um, it's kind of crazy. Even though everything has changed, we're living in a new normal, quote unquote. Kids are being homeschooled. They're doing virtual schools. My roommate has a 7-year-old, so he's having a lot of fun. Not really doing the virtual school thing, but despite all that, the schools are still doing fundraisers. I remember when I was a kid, going door to door selling like magazines, trying to get people to subscribe to magazines. Now they're doing like it's basically a bake sale, but instead of, parents and students actually baking the goods, they team up with corporations, and so you're basically the fundraiser is people buying like overpaying for pastries, for like cookies and cakes and things like that. And I don't know, I can't imagine the schools really getting that much money. I like. I'd really love to see a breakdown on where all this money goes to. I mean, it's like I'm sure a big portion goes to the people making the goods. Then you have the fundraising company who's like this middleman, who's taking a percentage, I'm sure, for operational costs, quote unquote. And then out of $20, like you buy a $20 cheesecake, maybe $2 goes to the school. Like I'd love to know the breakdown, and of course, nowhere you can't research. Nowhere do they say how much they give to the students or the schools. You just have to they're using child labor to sell overpriced like junk food, and it's kind of crazy that it's still going on despite like I would imagine schools should be saving a ton of money right now because they literally don't even have to use any serve. It's all virtual. I don't know. It's crazy times we're living in. Sean Connery checked out. He's no longer with us. He's one of the people to drift on past this current reality that we're living in. So rest in peace, Sean Connery. I don't know. Trying to think of like my favorite Sean Connery movie. Of course, like with The Rock is an amazing one. I was never into the 007s, so like him as James Bond, I don't really give a shit about. But the older Sean Connery was pretty great. The what's that writing one? You're the man now, dog. Right? That's just kind of a crazy. What I can't remember what that movie was, but it was like disenfranchised black kid learns to write from become an author by hanging out with Sean Connery. One of those kind of realistic movies that came out in the late '90s. But yeah, rest in peace, Sean Connery. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what kind of reality we are living in when this episode comes out on Thursday, because it will be 2 days after the election. So fingers crossed, we're living in a country that will soon be led by somebody who's not a worthless child, and somebody who actually pays taxes and believes in science and isn't all about pretending that his ego is everything, and actually give like edgy comics something to write jokes about instead of just being conservative. Like that's the new way to be edgy as a comedian, is just to be Republican and just say you support Trump, and then it's not a joke; it's just depressing that the comedians would support him. And I don't know, it is what it is. Hopefully we don't have to live with that for another 4 years. Fingers crossed. Make sure you support our sponsor, stationhousecoffee.com, and follow Station House Coffee on Instagram. Order yourself some premium, small batch, single origin coffee brewed in Thetford Center, Vermont, and shipped directly to you. Make sure you let them know that the Ray Taylor Show sent you over at stationhousecoffee.com. Order your coffee today and have it shipped directly to you. Also, get yourself Kindle Unlimited with their trial offer over at inspireddisorder.com/Kindle. That's unlimited reading, unlimited listening on all of your devices with Kindle Unlimited. Inspireddisorder.com/Kindle is the link you go to sign up for your free trial today. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a great day, everybody. Peace. Oh!